I'm just going to be working on some things here today. Today, I'm going to be working on this thing here. I have this masking tape or jumbo cotton balls, right? I'm going to turn these cotton balls into this thing here, which is kind of like a mesh type thing. And then from there, I'm going to see if I can go ahead and cover up a sculpture that's already been like made. This one's a incomplete sculpture, as you can see. I haven't finished him, but I was kind of working on some parts of him, trying to see if I can make him better before I added like some furriness to him. Because what happens is, like, you get a chance to actually make something pretty cool, and maybe I could do another layer to him. So what I decided to do is I just said, let's go ahead and give it a shot and see what I could do on the time that I have. See if I could work around it and give you guys the best performance I got the time that I got. So it's like so here, and I'm gonna add some water to this thing over there and see if we can turn it to something cool. Excuse me. That was me just for a little bit of a drink some water. Let's see how that goes. Let's see. I'll just unplug this for a little bit, just to have more range of motion, and let it, die out if it has to, because I need as much range as possible on this thing here. So, all right. So here's my water bottle. I'm gonna take some water and I'm gonna put this little cup over here. See if I to. Like that, and like this, put this on the floor so it doesn't fall to it. All right, I have these. Sorry, I have this here, and what this is just pretty much just like the cotton balls, and it's like a cotton ball. I'm going to go ahead and just tear it to pieces. I have my water brush, right? Brush here. This is for the car, to clean the to clean the parts of the engine, like for example, I guess. But what I find is that they had a thing about these things, these brushes. They say people use them to clean the their grills and stuff like that, of all their wire and things like that. They say don't use these things because what happens, the metal pieces break off, and sometimes it sticks to the food, and just be careful when you go to barbecues. Okay, that's something that this is like a wire brush made especially for batteries, terminal cables. But I was just using it here, just see if I can get the the things all spread out, and I was finding that it was actually some of the pieces that were coming off in there too as well. So, for example, here's like a piece that came off. You see, this little fibrous piece, little metal piece. So that's saying that be careful with this, because when you have a situation like this, you don't want it to, you don't want this to come off the things. You don't want to lose a piece of the metal wire into your art, or if you're using it for a barbecue, don't use that, because pieces can get there, and kids eat that, and it really can mess you up, this wire that gets into your food. So be careful when you use it to scrub the wire brush, like a wire whisk. Be careful about that, because you don't want to get injured in any way for that kind of thing. So here's this here, what I'm doing, I'm just kind of tearing up some of the cotton balls, right? And so I'm going to do like a little bit of magic with this, because I've seen so many people do stuff, and I wanted to like make some of my art like more furry, in terms of like furry, like give it like a different type of texture. Because a lot of this, right, I tend to take my art tops or pretty much aqualops, right? And so what happens is that here I put a little bit of wire, just like some of the 3D that I was using. And so I wanted to say maybe I could add some of this to it and then make it all flat and stuff like that. So I saw on a couple of videos, that they were doing this kind of thing, where they would take out their, hey, how you doing? Ocha. And so what happens is that here, and as you're doing this, I'm just kind of turning into more fibrous type things like this, right? So what I'm going to do is this, right? I have a couple little people are going to use examples, because this is a gremlin, is a nice one. He's incomplete. And this dinosaur here, he's somewhat complete, but I'm going to see if I could just do on a person. I have a little tiny person here, this little guy, right? So this little tiny guy, I'm going to use him as an example, because he's pretty much, he's complete, in terms of the fact that he's ready. So what we're going to do is make him all fuzzy and stuff. Let's do that. So this is what we do. I've seen the people, what they did was that they had like a water source, right? A water source like so. So here's like a water source. You can see that right here, the water. And I got my dusty, trusty gloves. I'm going to take away stuff that I don't need. Right, so I'm already going to use this here, and I already have this here, and you've seen this here, so you know I'm using this. I'm going to put this over side out of the way. But nice if I can balance everything onto this wooden stool here, right? Because the wooden stool is what I use for all my stuff too when I'm working on things. So we're going to have just one victim tonight. One victim will be him. And the question is about to do this thing. And again, once you come across a wire brush like this, don't use the wire brush to clean the grills and stuff. Be careful that these little parts break off. This is a wire brush for a car. Part of my toolkit when I fixed my car, and I had to fix my car this week. I'm using masking tape to make stuff. You know, enough talk. Let's just go and show you what I'm doing. Instead of talking, let me just show you. All right, so there's the paintbrush. There's there. We're gonna take this guy right here, and we're gonna go ahead and make him fuzzy. Make him a fuzzy dude. All right, so let's do that. So to do that, let's go ahead and get some EVA, some glue. Hopefully the glue still works, because sometimes you got glue and you don't know if the glue works or not. And all right, so let's go ahead and give it a shot. And it's been a good week. I got a chance some stuff. I had to pour the car. Had to get the car out, and we had this thing like a jumper type thing for our car, right? And then what ended up happening was that our car wasn't able to get out right away. So what I ended up doing was that I had the jumper thing, and the jumper thing didn't jump as much as I wanted it to, and so what ended up happening was like I had to think of a way to do this. So my neighbor came along and helped us. So we have a neighbor that does cars in our neighborhood. He's a really cool guy. You know. And so, okay, so we have this one here. This guy does a really good job. My problem is this, right? Every time I get close to, so I don't trip it, and that you get a nice clear signal, and I can work around it or something like that. So I have this, and they said what you do is that you take this, right, and you separate it out, and you put it over here. Give it a shot, right? So you take it like so, mix that sucker up. Here, mix the sucker up, and then you take, and then you put it like this on him. This is glue. Masking tape loves glue. It does. Because masking tape is pretty much paper, and then you just kind of have to do that. And I'm just gonna give it a shot and see how it works. This is my first time doing this, by the way, so don't judge me. All right, so make you a fuzzy man. All right, so it might be a big old mess, but I guess we'll find out in a second how bad a mess it'll be. Because, like, you know, I'm working on a couple of projects. This is the one that's laminated. I'm gonna try one that's not laminated and see how it works. You know. All right, this is. See, and the thing is, like they said about don't touch it because it gets all messy. So let's see if this works. All right, it is so not working. All right, let's see, it's still not working. All right, it looks so much nicer. Oh, you know what? That's what they're doing. They were doing it, and they were just like kind of like, I think I tried my best to pull it apart first. That's number one. Number two, I'm trying to see if I can just get it to stay put, and then add water to it, and then keep going with it. So let's just get it on the guy first, and then after that, we'll get it around the guy. So let's see how that works. So the goal is to make it like, you know what? I'll just figure it out. Worst case scenario, it works. Not worst, terrible scenario, it doesn't work. But I think it has something to do with, like, it's almost like a paper mache with cotton balls. Mess. You see, this is why I just keep, because you try your best to make something, and it just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But I just give it a shot, right? Let's see how it works. You know, the thing is about learning curves. You know, you have to just kind of try something, and it might work, it might not work, but just try. Worst case scenario, you learn something. Best, it doesn't work. Best case scenario, it works, and you learn something new. So, all right, so. I'm trying to get to my fingers. I still don't like things stuck in my fingers, and this will stick to my fingers. Okay, so far this is what I got. I got a big old fluffy mess. A friend of mine did this. She was making like a cloud outfit or something like that. See, me personally, I don't like my fingers getting dirty. So you would think that yes, because I work with these things. I don't like my fingers dirty because what happens is like it gets everything covered. So when you have like this, for example, here it is like I'm working with white glue, right, and just trying to get the glue onto the thing, and it's not staying put, right? So okay, I'm just gonna see. Just I'll figure this out. You'll see. To figure out everything. So just kind of take it and then just stick it. I'm thinking that it's not sticking because the seal I already have on it makes it not want to stick. I might have to just kind of try one that's plain that doesn't have the seal. Maybe I'll do the gremlin one and see that one. Alright, so let's just give it a shot. Let's this one sit for a little bit. This guy sit right here. We'll try it on the gremlin one instead. Let's go ahead and do this for the gremlin. See here. I'm gonna try it. Maybe it's like it'll better if you just have it not sealed. So this is some fresh tape that I have on his ears. Take it like this and take a chunk here and be watching Deep Space Nine, and they say Dabo, so Dabo. I think it's a type of game that they play on Deep Space Nine, and it's like it's almost like a roulette or something, or blackjack at a casino, and it's interesting how they have that just in the middle of a space colony. I think maybe that's kind of like the saloon. It's like maybe it's like a kind of a space western type thing, and you're meeting a different people. So right now we're up to season 3 of Deep Space Nine. We just got there, got there Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And those of you, we've gotten through all of the Star Trek Next Generation, and then we watched all the movies, and then the last one, which was Nemesis, which was interesting, but it was like some of my kids did not like it, at all, did not fancy the way it ended, so they were like upset. Some of my kids were like pretty cool with the whole aspect of it, because it's like it's some closure and it ends pretty nicely. But for the most part, though, it's like it was interesting watching this shows, because the shows, they kind of grow on you, and also you learn to like them. So then you end up watching a new show. And then the new show has to start all over. It's kind of like you go to a new job or something, kind of start all over with all the whole office politics and stuff, as well as the new workers and old workers. And that's something that like there's some really nice people place I work with my job, and there's some people that are just not so nice, but overall, you kind of figure out who's who and what's what. Bad ones stay, and so you really just kind of like the road to life, that kind of thing. You're never quite sure who's gonna stay, who's gonna go, and then some people are your friends, become your enemies, and enemies become your friends, and you just got to keep rolling with it. So what happens is like you have this thing where, let me see if I can do this. Okay, so this one, it kind of holds better with the masking tape. That's kind of fresh, but I should have done the other way. Okay, this here, and just kind of stick it there. All right, let's see if this thing actually works. Because I've seen them do this, and they make it look so nice. It's like it's saturated or something, and then it's so like it goes where it's supposed to go, and everything looks nice, and then it becomes better. But I don't know, mine's kind of just a fluffy mess right now, So it's just, let me show you. We could get a light a little better. So here's like, yeah, mine's just a fluffy mess. It's just like, it could work. Of course, everything could work if you just give it some time. So that's what happens. Oh my goodness! Today I did drive with my daughter, and it was great. We could have a chance to go drive, and we had a really good time. But it just took a lot of energy out of me, so I'm really kind of on the cranky side now, which is pretty cool, because it's like I mean, sometimes I say better things when I'm cranky. I think I speak the truth when I'm tired. I speak a little bit louder, a little bit clearer. And what happens is like just the whole aspect of like just trying to. It was a good time driving, because she's trying to learn. We've done 8 weeks of driving, which is like here in like Flushman Park and stuff. It's not like a street, and it's kind of like a street around the park, and we drive around there, and it's pretty cool, because when you do that, it's like kind of like almost real. There's no people there. You just drive in, as busy as the highway streets, So we've been like kind of driving around by different locations and stuff. But this one has been really nice because I have so many nice memories with regarding the just different places in Flushing Meadow. And so what happens is like when you're out there, it's just pretty cool. You see, I'm running out of things. So I have to add more water. Add more water to it, and then let me see. Maybe adding more water may change the equation, may make it better. So this is my water bottle. Add some more water to this little thing here. This here was some like pie trays, like a pie tray, right, with different pies. It's like a little quiches. And so what happened was like I like to repurpose stuff. So far, what I got so far is I got a semi fuzzy man, and I got a gremlin with facey clouds. So that's progress right there. Let's go see. Let's keep going. I'm gonna put this over here. All right, so this kind of place for it to land so it doesn't stick to the chair. What I've been trying to do is try to take apart these cotton balls, right? Take apart cotton balls and try to make them as thin as possible. Because I got a pack of cotton balls. We went to Walmart the other day, and I got this is like for 99 cents. 99 cents for a big old thing of cotton, right? So, and it's like taking that and then trying to make it into like um, little islands, little pockets, stuff, right? And this is the glue, EVA glue. And then what I'm trying to do is trying to take it and just kind of paint and stick some of this here. They were saying that you do this is the best way to do it, so you keep your fingers from getting like all covered. You take it like that. So this is me doing a trial because I intend to do this for another project I'm working on. So I said, let me just go ahead and give this a shot as a trial thingy, right? And see just if I just by soaking it and putting glue on it, if it'll work. And it's all like pretty much water and tape and stuff, because masking tape is pretty much indestructible. It really is, even with water. So when you put like stuff on it like this, it'll hold position. It's pretty cool. It'll hold position, but it shouldn't have too much water in it. Like that. But see, but this one doesn't have, it's just water with no glue. So I gotta paint the glue on it. So here's the glue. This is a messy ordeal. See, this is the thing where I wear the gloves because it's just messy. Look at it. All right, there, just kind of holding. And here's the glue, and then here's the water, and then here's the cotton, and stick the cotton on it, and then hopefully it stays, and I don't know. So here's that with this. It's just a mess. It's a big old mess. I'm just gonna enjoy this mess making. I don't usually do mess making stuff, so let's give it a shot, shall we? All right, so you look like you're just kind of a old-timey old man, aren't you? Yeah, so let's just have fun while we do this. It's good. So I got a chance to spend time with my daughter driving, and it was great. We did a whole bunch of driving, like parallel parking, and we did a bunch of stuff. A place where there's water, and we went over there, and it was really cool just driving and parking and having to drive between cars and stuff. It was just because what happens is like we've been going through all different train stuff, so now I kind of have to work her up to highway level and stuff. So for the last 8 weeks I haven't got her to highway level yet because that's kind of you have to trust yourself and be ready, and then know how to handle the car and all that stuff. And so it's just a whole bunch of stuff you gotta do, So over here a little bit. And so when you do all these things, it's kind of like one of those things where you're not really sure, how it's gonna be, and you hope you don't run into anything because it's like it's really your car, the family car, and you're trying your best not to destroy the family car. But she's been doing really good. She's done a really good job. She's really getting good at parallel parking. So we go parallel park on both sides. The cool thing about when you do like these trials and stuff like that, you get a chance to actually put it like, put the car on different sides of the street. Especially if you're inside like a parking lot. You get a chance to put it on different parts of the street, and that works out great because you get a chance to left side and right side to parallel park. And so that's a matter of just kind of positioning the cones and stuff, and then making sure that all works out. I should probably soak the cotton right into the thing, and then have it like that, and then take it apart, because I might have to just use the gloves that way because it might stick better and clump less if I do it that way. And the whole thing is, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm trying to learn the art of covering stuff to make it look good. I've seen these people do it, and they do such a good job, and they're definitely keeping a secret right, because maybe it's not the way that I'm doing it. It's not the right way, but I'm still trying something. So they say it's better to try, do it wrong than to not try at all, because we live in a world where everybody's afraid And then, oh my goodness, this stuff is coming out in the news lately. Oh, good. I don't even want to talk about that stuff, but I mean, it's just kind of at this point, it's like these people have been lying to us for so long that we can't even, trust any of them. So I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about art stuff. Art stuff is like, this here is pretty cool. This whole cotton thing has been a really cool thingy here. Let me see if it's, I think I lost it. Oh, it is because it seemed like I lost the volume of sorts. I have to get this just right. See, the thing is, like, I have this all set up, right where it is, and I have to kind of position everything where it's above my head, and I have to look up every so often to see what the words are saying. So, if you guys want to write me and stuff, you can ask me questions, and I'll try and answer. If you want to give a super chat, that's also good too. That helps out the channel, for all those who watch and enjoy. So this here, I'm just kind of taking this. I'm going to take it and I'm going to put this into this thing here. I broke it in little pieces, so I'm going to take a couple little pieces and dip it into the thing. See, I don't want to stick it in my fingers, right? So they say what you do, you take it and you put the brush in it, you take it and you dip it, and then you from there, you apply it to your subject, like that. I don't know how much sense it is, or if it does make sense, but let's give it a shot. So it's already there, so let's go ahead and just kind of paint this on there. Yeah, hopefully it just stays. Hopefully it does that, but I guess we'll see. Take a little bit of this. I mean, they make everything so easy on the YouTube channel. You really have to go through your learning curve because you have to learn it and figure out how to make it all work out. Yeah, see, it's just a matter of just you figure it out and then you just keep figuring it out. Yeah. So we are scheduled to have another snowstorm at some point. The last one we had, and some do well, some do terrible. Sometimes the snow is just not even there. We had a bad snowstorm this time. They actually shut down the airport, and they had to shut down my job. It never closes. It actually closed the other day, and I was just like, wow. It says, hello, how you doing? It says, has been lover N1J says, hi. I say hi back. How are you? Hello. And so what happens is like, we have this here. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to make this the glue stick to this thing, and it's getting all like pearly and stuff like that. So it's all like all boogery and stuff. So yeah, that's the thing. I knew this was gonna happen. It'd be like one of those things where it's like you're trying to, and I don't want to touch it. I gotta use this glove to get it free. See, because it's like this is getting all saturated, but it's like it's EVA glue as opposed to the other glue. So anyway, so we have water here, and it's just going very slow and annoying, but let's see who could do this good. Take a piece here, slap that piece right there. Take a piece here, slap that piece right there. All right, and then take some water and there. Let's get it on your face right here. Do this with the glue. Let's see if that works out. All right, let's do that. And then take some of this glue thingy here and just smash it on your face. Maybe it might work, I don't know. We'll see. They seem to make it look so easy. Okay, well, anyway, so, well, I guess it's gonna have to be just the way the learning curve has to go like this. So take this and tear this into little pieces and keep dropping them on the ground. So we can just get this real quick. All right, so I'm tearing the little pieces of this here. Right, I'm gonna take it and just kind of put it onto the creature, and take it and put it onto the creature. All right, so the creature's all nice and fuzzy. And then here, and then take some of that glue and then put it here. And put it there. Oh, yeah, look at that. All right, yeah, it's kind of better. Look at that. Okay, so take some glue and just paint this down. It's supposed to be like a combination of painting it down and then making sure it stays what we're supposed to. And then kind of like sealing up all of the whole areas so that it's just like one unified gelatinous mass furry gremlin. It's gonna be a Yeti, I guess, when it's done. I'm matted. My first Yeti gremlin. Make hands blue, so you like, Well, alright, so there's that, and tearing it. Well, thank you so much, y'all, for watching. I appreciate it. What I'm doing is this. I'm just kind of making a furry gremlin. probably a Yeti gremlin. Because you know what happens, like the winter has been really cool. I have this a Yeti. I have him here. This is my Yeti that I had. I gave him a coat of paint last week. So just I gave him a coat of paint, and so here he is. Here he's like, hey, and he's got. Oh, his good luck human fell off. Oh, his good luck human fell off. He's got a good luck human turn. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, this is a good luck human. He keeps that, around his neck and stuff like that. And so this is where he has like this. So it kind of broke up. Oh, his necklace broke. So I gotta attach it back. But this is like proportionate how big he is compared to human. He's like, so this is like his good luck charm. And I'll put it back in his bag. Yeah, I keep working on all these cool stuff. And so I gave him a coat of paint, so now he's white as opposed to yellow. I'll show you the difference in color. See what happens. This is yellow, or this is beige. All right, see the beige color. And then, so this is the beige color, and this is the white color. So you see the color? So I gave him a coat of paint, so he's different than, oh boy. It's like, hey, let's go for a ride, let's go for a bike ride. Like, no, I won't. Please, the bike ride would be great. So anyway, so happens, yeah, let me keep adding this thing to it, and I gotta do the back of it. So, this might actually work out. I'm running a test here because I'm working on a side project for a friend of mine. And what happens is that I'm working on one of the, I can't tell you the details because, like, I don't want to spoil it. But what happens when it gets done, I'll show you guys what it's like when it's done. But it's kind of weird because I guess I have to show it to you after it's done, Because, like, the thing is, like, I don't really want to, make a ton of movies on it, but then I wanted to just kind of make sure. It's one of those things. You make something for somebody, and it's just the whole process. There was a person I was listening to. They do like cosplay, right? And they make like cosplay. And they said whenever you make like your videos and stuff like that, just videotape everything. Whenever you make to make a book of your stuff, it's always cool because people love to see the process, how you make stuff, And so I see how people like come together and they watch how I make these things, And this is the first time I'm doing this. I mean, I already made the gremlin, as you can see. I'm trying to see if I can get this fur to stick to it, make it all nice and good. See, it's like right that. So it's like it's kind of working, So I'm just seeing if they can get it to just be all saturated and nice and keep it in place, and then just add more details to it because it seems like if I add water to it, right, and add water. So this is me like learning at the moment. I've never done this before, so I mean I guess I've done it a few minutes now, but maybe that's the case. So saturate it and make it flat. Maybe it's almost like a toilet paper type thing, but instead of using cotton balls. And so let's see if the cotton balls actually works out better. Yes, so it's like yeah, feel free to talk in the chat. If you guys have any trouble hearing me or anything like that, let me know in the chat. If you guys have any questions you want to ask me, let me know down in the chat below. It helps me the algorithm. It's also free to do it. You don't have to pay anything. If you'd like to give us some money, that'd be great. We accept all forms of payments, but definitely a super chat would be great if you'd like to. Super chat for any amount, and that's always fun. Because the thing is, we keep the art rolling. We keep the art rolling, and how we do that is by just trying to show up. Now I've been trying to do every Wednesday, but last week the storm thing happened, and it was like the snowstorm was like was last Sunday. Oh, was it last Sunday? And then so it was like just trying to get everything in place, and then dealing with the aftermath of the snow, and then having to move the car. And, that's one of the things too that's hard about living here in Queens. It's like you have it where it's like, there's it's hard to get a parking. Thank you so much, Amy. Thanks for joining my channel tonight. Amy is one of my supporters, and so she supports me a lot in this. And so it's always been cool, and just kind of pretty much having. It's good when you get supporters and people follow you, because that means like that's great because you got people like who help you out and they support you and helping the business go, as well as just like just kind of look forward to seeing them every time you come on live. Hopefully that they're there to see your show, because we're doing this. There's a lot of people who come to my channel and they don't subscribe, or they don't follow, or or something. They don't even talk, and I like when people talk in my chat as long as it's a good conversation. I hate when they start asking me dumb questions about like where I'm from. I'm from New York. I live here in New York City. And yeah, we had a big old snowstorm, and the snowstorm was crazy. And so that's it. Oh, thank you so much, Amy. Wow. Oh, cool. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's awesome. What are you? Ooh. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna like that real quick. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's the thing. So when you do art, especially this one here. It's like just a big old mess. You see that? It's a big old mess. So it's a cool thing you're working on. So if one doesn't work, you work on another. Because you have to give it a chance to dry a little bit and then come back and give it some more paint. So this one here, he doesn't have a thing, so it's no seal on this one. This one does have a seal. And let's see how it is so far. So far, oh, it's starting to stick. Okay, that's good. Let's see if we can get it to stick more. Right. And have him be I guess a woolly snowman too. I guess. Want to be a woolly snowman? Okay, so we have this one, a piece of it on the floor here. All right. You know, everything falls on the floor, they always like get sticky. But this one here, so put this here to get a little saturated, right? And then this one, I'll end up with a mess or I'll end up with results, one of the two. So let's see how that works. This is here, like on the shoulder. You know, if I get this right, my prices are gonna go up because I mean, this is just an extra step of just brutality. Let me tell you, it's like I'm so used to like when I do the sculpting, it's kind of instant. Like I get like a response quick. I get a response quick from the feedback. The feedback loop is great because you do this, you get a feedback loop, and you keep going. But then sometimes you get this, and it's just like, all right, this is kind of messy. All right, so this one here, this. It's like making the baby is the fun part. So you have that there. Okay, so we watched the movie F1. We also watched a movie called The Beast with Idris Elba and Idris Elba. Idris, is it Idris Elba? I guess it. So yeah, so we watched that movie, right? And it was such a cool movie because what happened was like, it had this thing where there was like a rogue lion, and that was so cool. Just the whole thing about it. Now it's not. I mean, it was just it was a movie, and as a movie, they do movie things, and movie things are always like so much fun than real things because you can get away with movie things in real life. You just die, and that's it. There's no way you can actually do what they do in the movies. But for the most part, I mean, they did it, and I guess the first person to fight and win against a lion, you'd have to be like really determined to figure out what lion can do, and then I guess probably the third or fourth person probably actually killed the lion because the first person would be like, hey kitty, kind of thing like that, and they would be just sorry because they didn't anticipate the intensity of the lion, what a lion can actually do, and so they actually would be like broadsided, just thinking about like how they're doing something and the lion didn't. The lion's gonna do what lions do, which is eat you. And so the first person who ever had to fight and win against the lion, they learned a lot. They had to master a lot of unforeseens, to get it. Now I'm wondering if adding water might be better, but then I guess maybe the glue itself is enough. But if I add water to the glue, I stretch it. So let's give that a shot, shall we? Let's add some water to this glue and see maybe if that'll make it better or better. So let's give it a shot. Okay, like that. Let's see if I add it might be actually a good solution. We'll give it a shot and see what happens. So there's water in the glue, and then there's cotton water in the glue. So there's that one. So I tried to separate that out there, put that there. And another thing too, I'm doing a needle felt punch in needle felting. And that, my friend, has been so much fun. It has been really good. I shouldn't do it this way, I should do the other way. Put it from there to here and splather, and let's go right there. Oh yeah. You know what? This might actually be really nice if I get this combination. That's a good piece of slathering right there. Yep. I'll take this, put it in there. You just kind of sit there and do this. You take it and just smother it in here, and then there. Take it and just kind of just put it up against it. Just And just kind of squish it. Maybe that's the best thing to do. Because I mean, like, you know, it seemed like it's working that way, but I just don't have any control with the brush. So let me see if we can just try it like this and make it like, you know, a little bit of water, a little bit of glue, and then just kind of glue, and then just kind of right there in the arm, and right there in the arm, and then just kind of cover that jammy up, right? And see, just kind of cover that jammy up, right? And see if the better it might work out better if I just do this way. Okay. Anti-sticky. It's not sticking, is what I'm saying. It's like it's just it wants to stay, but it's like what it does is just kind of come like this, right? It's like it's just kind of like coming off. But I mean, if it dry, maybe it would stay. But I just gotta find the right combination. See, whenever you're trying to learn something new, you have to go through the whole um, learning curve, you know. And the learning curve is like something you just gotta kind of work through. You just gotta work it, and then the more you get it, the better you get at it. The better you get at it. So that's the thing. So it's getting there, but it's like really clumpy, really nasty. If I wasn't wearing gloves, I'd be like all like grossed out. Not grossed out, but like just weirded out or frustrated about it, you know. Sorry about that. So right now I'm just kind of squeezing the excess water out of it. That might help. I mean, don't be like wait. Ask you is this in terms of like just see right here this I have to make sure to squeeze it and get it as dry as possible. I think that's what the secret is. I don't know. I guess find a secret when I find a secret. But I probably should. I don't know. It's just learning. This is. I'm not sure whether it's better to soak it into the thing, tear it into pieces, just let it in a thing, and then add water to it. Maybe that's the thing to probably do that. Just have it sit. Each one has its own pod. Tear it into the smallest pieces possible. Have it sit in its own pod, and then just kind of make sure your brush is nice and clean. You know, have that there. I just want to stick the fingers there, there. I think I'll use more of a sticky glue, maybe more EVA glue itself. So maybe I'll just grab some of that and see. It might actually be good if I use the Mod Podge for this, but I don't know. It all depends really, because I mean, not really sure what's the best thing to do. You just kind of figure it out as you go, you know. Figuring out as you go. So there's that. There's that. There's that. There's that. All right, figuring it out as you go. Turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it. There. Okay, so now I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna soak it in some water. All right, soak it in some water. Soak it in some water. I'm gonna soak it in some glue. All right, soak it in some glue. Now I'm gonna squeeze out the excess a little bit, and then stick it right here on his hand. You know, right there, right there. See if that one works, because it might work. You know, well, I mean, it will wrap, and then this one here. It will wrap and like that, and then just kind of like, hopefully it stays, because like it likes to tread, becomes thready. So the glue, I'm gonna glue right here. See, I guess because the glue, it's supposed to, it's supposed to make it stick to itself. So that there, and then here's this one, and then just kind of there. But I gotta do what I did before. Soak it, and then put this in here, and then there, You know, this might actually work out. I think I might be getting the hang of this. You know, I keep saying that, but maybe I am. Who knows? Okay, so there's this, there's this. I think I'm getting to that flow state. I'm just kind of like, just flowing. We got this and this. Yep. You know what they did? They put string. That's what it was. They wrapped everything in string. They put the cotton and they wrapped in string and they attached the next cotton piece. That's what they're doing. That's why it was like so robust and so like very clear. I had to wrap it in string. That's what I was forgetting to do. Oh, cool. Hi, Emmy. Thank you, Emmy. Let's see. Okay, so I gotta wrap it in string. I need to get some string. Do I have any string? I have that string thing. That's like the big old twiny string. That could be very helpful. But then I think when you wrap it in thin string, like almost like sewing. Do I have any string nearby? I know not where at this moment. You know, I am truly exhausted actually. And so the thing is, like, I've had a long day. I gotta have a long day tomorrow too. But today, it's gonna be. I don't know where it goes right. I have a bag of hair. Not hair, but a bag of hair. A bag of string. Bag of string here. Bag of string not too far from here. I gotta try and recover that. All right, so I don't know. So okay, so the thing is this, right? What they did in the thing was that they took it and they wrapped it up. They had it and then they wrapped it with a string before they actually started attaching it. So to my sugaring, this guy is like covered in thing without string. So it's maybe like actually might make it into a string, just having it like this. But if I was to be wise, I would wrap it like I did before when I did the first guy. You know? So here's that. Makes me wonder if I could felt it. I might be able to. Just gotta. I don't know. Just do what you're doing. I guess. You know. I guess there's several ways to do anything. So don't be like just stuck on one way. Let's see how that works. Just do it. Let's just do it. Just do it. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's for you now, sir. How are you coming along? Coming along good? Oh, look, all that water coming out. Yeah. Let's push out that water. See. All right. This could work too. This could actually work. Let's see. Take this here and then just have it and then wrap that sucker right around you. Maybe it might be like where the fibers itself will form. I don't know. Like that. See this? So you have that. This is one here. It's almost like a cotton t-shirt made of cotton. Alright. But it's like it kind of goes through. So let's see. This here. This here is here. Alright, give it a shot. There. Cover up all the beige parts, and then just kind of squeeze all the water. All right, so you have this one and this one. Okay, almost to the hour marker, and let's make some more stuff. I think I have to get it more uniform. I just gotta keep at it. That's it, really. Gotta find that string, the strings and things. Okay, I gotta charge my phone. My phone's running low on juice. I'm at 2. Let me see. It might run out of juice if I. What I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna have to like call it quits because I need to charge my phone. My friends, I just want to thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I have more coming out soon. You'll see more stuff for you to see, and more art. And this project I'm working on is actually pretty cool. So I'll let you know how it ends up, how it turns out. I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right. Thank you so much for watching. All right, bye.